Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm excited to talk about a topic which is very close to my heart, which is health insurance. At AXA Affin Life, our vision is to be the preferred health and protection insurer for millennials, and we've been at the forefront of a lot of the innovation in the health space. And we won quite a few awards. Most importantly, last year in the Asia Insurance Review Awards, which is the most coveted one, where they have a proper panel of judges who review submissions, after which they shortlist and they interview people. We were the only Malaysian insurer in the top 3 Health Insurer of the Year award. The other 2 were AIA, Singapore, and Interna Asia. So clearly a reflection of how strong we are in that space. Moving on, the first thing I would say when you buy health insurance is be clear of what you want. Like every company, we have a strong agency force who are here, who are trained, who are equipped, who are certified to sell these products. So I would say definitely speak to them. But having said that, I wanted to give my view, my personal view on 4 things to look at when you buy health insurance, and why I believe AXA Affin Life is well suited to sell this. First one is, how affordable is health insurance for you? Because I'm sure, like many people, we first think about survival benefit and then about death benefit. It's normal. Both are equally important, and as I said, always take advice to understand what your actual coverage should be. But I would divide it into 2 parts. What is affordable and what is actually needed? There's always a delta between the two, because early part of our careers, we may not always be able to afford what's the actual coverage needed. As a rule of thumb, I'll tell you, for example, within our organization, less than 5% of claims is 200,000 and above. So it's an indication, yes, there are exceptions that happen, but it's an indication of how sometimes it makes sense to at least buy something than not buy anything. That's a start, and then you see how you can improve your coverage to what you require. The second one, going back to that point, we have a lot of products which go from as low as 50, 60 ringgit right up to significant high amount of coverage. So we definitely kept that in mind, because each age group, each customer has a different need. The second one, please look for transparency from your company. I have always been giving out facts and figures about where we stand as an organization. I'm going to give you a few data points. The first one, 90% of our claims, as in the GL issuance at the hospital, is done in less than 1 hour. What that means is 90% of the times a customer has to wait less than 1 hour in the hospital. But it also means there are some 10% where we need to improve. There are various reasons for it, sometimes company reasons, sometimes customer reasons, sometimes hospital reasons. I'm not going to go into all of that, but the point is, it's an important statistic, and I always ask you to ask competitors where they stand on this. The second one, 94% of our health claims, which is not through a GL process, is paid within the approved time. So 94% is paid within the approved time. That means there's still some room for improvement, but at 94%, it's a pretty strong number, and we constantly want to push it up. The third one is our complaint rate is less than 1.5%. So these are clear indicators. You can see that we put the whole customer in the center. While everybody can talk about fancy digital tools, which we also have, it's important at the end of the day, when the rubber hits the road, when the customer really wants support, are we there for them? And finally, on the same point, we also look at customer complaints at the senior most levels. I've made myself available on public domain. For example, last year there were 6 escalations, genuine escalations to me, which came from customers through various social media. 3 of it was sorted because we found that yes, AXA Affin Life erred on some processes, and we were very transparent, and we said we will improve, and we've made those improvements. And 3 others were rejected or declined as MSA because the reasons were not valid, and we explained to the customer. Sometimes they don't accept, sometimes they would, because it's normal when somebody is declined. But there are strong reasons, clauses, which one should read. The third point I would say is always look at the coverage of hospitals. We have 130 plus hospitals covered, one of the highest. We are in the top three, the number of hospitals covered. There are many in the 80, 90, 100 range, and it's important for you to know that, because the more hospitals covered, more easier for you to get GL or to be easily admitted, great faster access to hospitals. So that's very important, and we are constantly upgrading those. The fourth one is we love surprising our clients. We have a motto which is we want to move from being a payer to a partner. So we just don't want to give customers an easier claims process. We also want to help them be better. So we launched several programs during the last 3 years, and the best part, not one program was charged to the customer. I'll give you an example. Last year, we had a customer program called Step It Up Plus, where we had Fitter Me, where a customer, if they walked 10,000 steps, they got on specific products, they got, if they walked 10,000 steps on an average per day, they got up to 24% discount the next month, and in terms of rebate. And if they walk 6,000, they got 12%. We also gave a Better Me program because we found about 40 to 50% of customers typically had 4 conditions: higher cholesterol, higher blood pressure, higher weight issues, and hypertension. And we came up with a program working with 3 health tech firms, Bookdog, Naluri, and Biomark. And we gave the customers free Bluetooth weighing machine, 3 blood test vouchers, and also access to a health psychologist, a nutritionist, and a health coach. And we tried to improve their condition, and if they did improve, their loading was removed, and they were also given some specific quarterly benefits as well, additional. The third one, we also launched teleconsultation for our customers through Doctor on Call, and we also launched drug delivery for the customers. Most recently with the coronavirus, obviously everybody were quite worried about coronavirus. We came up with a coronavirus assistance program, which is not just increasing some feature for the sake of it, which is really thinking about the customer, putting ourselves in the shoes of the customer and saying, what do we need to give them during this dire hour if something happens to them? All of these programs are complementary, which means no additional cost to the customer. And that is what is the essence of what we are trying to do. So my message to you would be, don't get caught in the last feature comparison, but look at these 4 aspects as well. Yes, compare the features, but important to know whether the company is available, the company is committing to its term timelines, if they miss, are they ready to work on it? Is the company constantly thinking of me as a customer, not just thinking of my claim, but seeing how I can improve my condition? That is very critical. So this is why, obviously, I believe that we are very strong and very powerful in the health insurance space. I would leave you with one simple message. Penny wise, pound foolish. Sometimes we do the last comparison and we tend to buy a product which is 5 to 10 ringgit more costly, more cheaper. But when claim comes, it may not be your best experience. So always look at which company provides you this and then choose that company. Choose wisely, think swiftly, because health insurance is something you never want to compromise on. And I will leave it with one final advice. Always speak to experts to give you the right advice. Thank you. Bye.